Good morning slash afternoon slash evening, everyone. Today I want to talk about something that each of us has, but far too few of us truly control: our minds. We hear it all the time. You've got to take control of your mind. But what does that really mean, and how do we do it? The mind is not just a tool for processing information. It's the epicenter of your reality. Every action you take, every word you speak, and every emotion you experience first begins with a thought. Think about that for a moment. Your entire life, every aspect of it, is filtered through your mind. What you believe, what you expect, and how you interpret the world all starts there. But here's the truth. Most people don't realize just how much influence they have over their thoughts. We walk through life on autopilot, letting our minds wander and our thoughts be shaped by external circumstances. But what if I told you that you could control that flow? What if I told you that your thoughts are not random? They are a powerful force that can be directed to create the life you want. Your thoughts shape your perceptions. When you start thinking that something is possible, your perception of the situation changes. You begin to see opportunities where others might only see obstacles. You look at challenges not as threats, but as stepping stones toward growth. The power of your thoughts can flip your perspective and change your entire approach to life. In fact, the thoughts you have about yourself directly influence your self-permission. If you're constantly thinking you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable of achieving greatness, those thoughts will seep into your identity. You'll start to live in alignment with those beliefs, subconsciously sabotaging yourself. But when you begin to believe that you are capable, worthy, and powerful, your mind begins to align with that truth. It's not about self-deception, but about affirming your inherent potential. The beauty of this is that you can choose your thoughts. Not every thought that enters your mind needs to stay there. Negative, limiting thoughts will come, but you have the power to challenge them. You have the ability to recognize when a thought is not serving you and replace it with one that empowers you. The mind is like a garden, and you get to decide what to plant in it. When you change the way you think, you also change how you feel. If you consistently think thoughts of gratitude, abundance, and hope, your emotional state will shift. You'll find yourself living with more joy and peace, even in the midst of difficult circumstances. This is the power of intentional thinking. You can start by recognizing the patterns in your mind, acknowledging the negative ones, and intentionally replacing them with thoughts that align with your goals, your purpose, and your desires. But remember, thoughts don't just stay inside your head. They manifest in your life. Thoughts that are consistently repeated become beliefs, and beliefs shape the way you act. If you believe that you are destined for greatness, that belief will push you to take bold steps toward your goals. If you believe that success is out of your reach, you'll find yourself retreating, staying in your comfort zone, or even avoiding opportunities that would help you grow. So why is it that so many of us allow our minds to wander aimlessly? Why do we let external factors, like the opinions of others or past failures, dictate our thoughts? Because we forget one fundamental truth. The mind is a powerful force, and we are the stewards of it. If we do not intentionally guard and shape our thoughts, we give that power away. The good news is that you can take that power back. You can choose your thoughts. You can choose to think in ways that align with the life you want to create. You can choose to fill your mind with positive, empowering thoughts that lead to a life of purpose and impact. When you do that, you not only change your life, but you change the lives of those around you. The power of your thoughts is not a vague concept, it's a practical, real force that can transform your reality. What you think today will determine where you are tomorrow, so choose wisely. Your thoughts are not just fleeting ideas, they are the foundation of your life's future. This expansion dives deeper into the influence of thoughts, the connection between thoughts and emotions, and how they shape our actions, creating a more immersive and powerful understanding of the topic. Let me know if you'd like to add anything else. The mind is more than just a place where thoughts come and go. It is the starting point for everything in our lives. Every moment of your life is influenced by what you think, and those thoughts drive everything you do. We often underestimate the power of our minds, but when we truly understand it, we realize how much control we really have. Our thoughts are not just fleeting ideas. They are the foundation of the life we build. The way you think directly impacts the way you feel, the actions you take, and ultimately the results you get in life. Think about it for a moment. Every decision you make starts with a thought. Every action you take is a reflection of what's going on inside your mind. The things you say to yourself, the way you view your potential, and the way you approach the world around you are all shaped by the thoughts you hold. If your thoughts are focused on fear, self-doubt, or negativity, your actions will align with those beliefs, and you will create a reality that mirrors those thoughts. On the other hand, if you consistently think with purpose, optimism, and faith, you will begin to act in ways that reflect those empowering beliefs. But here's the catch. Most people don't take the time to recognize the power of their thoughts. They allow their minds to be filled with whatever comes their way, whether that's societal expectations, external pressure, or negative past experiences. They let these influences shape their thoughts without realizing that they are the ones who hold the power to choose what they think. This is the game changer. When you realize that you have the authority to control your thoughts, everything shifts. Your mind is like a garden. Just as a gardener carefully chooses what to plant, you have the ability to choose the thoughts you allow to grow. If you want a life full of joy, peace, and success, you have to plant thoughts that align with those things. But if you're planting seeds of fear, insecurity, or negativity, those will inevitably sprout into actions that reflect that mindset. The most important thing to remember is that your thoughts are not random. They are constantly shaping the trajectory of your life, even when you're not consciously aware of it. Let's think about it from another angle. What you think about yourself is one of the most powerful forces in your life. If you see yourself as weak or incapable, that's how you'll show up in the world. But if you start thinking of yourself as powerful, capable, and worthy of success, you'll start taking actions that align with those beliefs. Your thoughts shape your identity. When you think you can do something, you start moving toward it with confidence and courage. But when you doubt yourself, your actions will often reflect that fear. The battle for success doesn't start with external circumstances. It starts within. And the more you nurture positive thoughts, the stronger your mental foundation becomes. But here's something else to remember. It's not just about thinking positively for the sake of thinking positively. It's about intentionality. Your thoughts need to be aligned with who you want to become. This is why vision and purpose are so important. They help direct your thoughts toward the goals that matter most. When your mind is locked into a vision of your future, your thoughts will be centered around that vision, guiding you to take the actions that bring it to life. What's fascinating about our minds is that they don't just process information, they filter it. They filter the world based on the thoughts you've been thinking over time. So if you've been thinking thoughts of scarcity, you'll see the world as a place of limitation. You'll focus on what you lack, what you don't have, and what you can't achieve. But if you've been thinking thoughts of abundance, your mind will filter the world through that lens, helping you to spot opportunities where others see obstacles. This is why it's so important to guard your thoughts. The mind is constantly being bombarded by external influences, news, social media, opinions from others. But you have the power to decide which of those influences will shape your thinking. You don't have to accept every thought that comes your way. In fact, it's crucial that you don't. If a thought doesn't align with the person you're becoming or the life you're creating, then you have the authority to reject it and replace it with a more empowering one. When we allow negative or limiting thoughts to take root in our minds, we often don't realize how much power we've given away. We let fear control our decisions. We let doubt keep us from trying new things. But here's the truth, you can take back control. You don't have to let the circumstances of your life dictate how you think. Instead, you can start creating your own narrative. When you choose your thoughts intentionally, you start living intentionally. Your mind is no longer working against you, it's working for you, helping you to create the life you want to live. The connection between your thoughts and your emotions is inseparable. If your thoughts are rooted in fear or negativity, you will start to feel anxious, stressed, or overwhelmed. But when you shift your thinking to focus on gratitude, peace, and possibility, your emotions will follow. Your emotional state becomes a reflection of your mindset. By consciously choosing the thoughts you dwell on, you can influence your emotional state, which then influences your behavior and ultimately the outcomes in your life. Your thoughts then are the key to unlocking your potential. But more than that, they are the key to shaping your experience of life. The thoughts you choose to dwell on today will impact how you feel tomorrow and how you show up in the world. If you want to change your circumstances, you have to first change the way you think about them. If you want to elevate your life, you have to elevate your thinking. Too often, we wait for our circumstances to change before we change our thoughts. But the opposite is true. Your thoughts change your circumstances. If you want to move forward in life, if you want to see progress and success, it all begins with the power of your thoughts. What you believe in your mind will eventually manifest in your life. So if you want to transform your reality, start by transforming your thinking. Start by recognizing that you have the power to shape your thoughts, to choose your beliefs, and to direct your mind toward the things that will move you closer to the life you desire. Your thoughts are the starting point for everything else. What you think today will shape your tomorrow. This version deepens the exploration of the power of thoughts, illustrating how our internal dialogue influences perceptions, emotions, actions, and ultimately the life we create. Let me know if you'd like to adjust anything further. Faith is more than just a religious or spiritual concept. It's a powerful force that shapes our entire outlook on life. It's not confined to a belief in something external, but it's also a belief in our own capacity for growth, transformation, and success. Faith is what moves us from a place of uncertainty and fear into a place of confidence and action. It's the catalyst that propels us to think differently, to rise above our doubts, and to act in ways that align with the vision we hold for our future. But how does faith shape the mind? The mind and faith are intricately connected. When you have faith in something greater than yourself, you begin to see the world through a different lens. Faith shifts your focus. It redirects your attention from what is limiting to what is possible. The more you embrace faith, the more your mind is conditioned to think beyond the visible and the immediate. You begin to see opportunities where others see challenges. You start to expect the best even when things aren't perfect, because faith reminds you that the end result is often not visible in the present moment, but it is just as real. When we talk about faith in shaping the mind, we aren't just talking about blind optimism. Faith isn't about ignoring the reality of struggles or challenges. It's about acknowledging those challenges while believing that something greater is working within you and for you. Faith helps you reframe adversity, not as a defeat, but as part of the process. It teaches your mind to interpret obstacles as opportunities for growth, not as reasons to quit. This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful, because once you begin to believe that everything, both good and bad, is working together for your benefit, your mind starts to approach life's challenges with a sense of purpose and resilience. Faith isn't something that happens overnight. It's built over time, brick by brick, with every decision to believe in the possibility of a better future. But once you have it, faith becomes a guiding force in your life. It enables your mind to make decisions based not on fear, but on belief. When you believe in something, it changes the way you think. You stop second-guessing yourself and your abilities. Instead, you act with boldness and conviction. You trust that even if you don't have all the answers right now, your faith will guide you through the uncertainties. A mind shaped by faith doesn't shrink back in the face of difficulty. Instead, it rises to meet challenges head on. The mind empowered by faith understands that growth often requires discomfort. Faith doesn't guarantee an easy path, but it guarantees that you won't walk it alone. With faith in your heart, you begin to trust that every step, no matter how difficult, is leading you somewhere important. This allows your mind to remain focused even when distractions, fear, or doubts come your way. Furthermore, faith gives the mind the courage to dream bigger. Faith stretches your thinking because it challenges the limitations you've imposed on yourself. When you have faith, your mind stops operating from a place of scarcity and begins to operate from a place of abundance. You start believing that there's more than enough opportunity for everyone, and you start to believe there's more than enough room for you to succeed. Faith turns your mind into a place of limitless potential. It encourages you to think beyond your current circumstances and see yourself accomplishing things that seemed impossible just a moment ago. Faith also strengthens your resilience. It gives you the strength to keep going even when your circumstances are tough, when the road is long, and when the odds seem stacked against you. When your mind is anchored in faith, it holds on to hope, even when the visible evidence might not seem to support that hope. This is where true strength of mind is developed. Faith doesn't remove obstacles. It empowers your mind to keep going in spite of them. It shapes your mental framework to see the potential for growth within adversity, to believe that setbacks are simply setups for something greater. In addition to building resilience, faith enables the mind to trust in a process. Often we are impatient when we want something to happen right away. We want results now. But faith teaches the mind to trust that everything has its own time and purpose. It's this trust in timing that shapes our thoughts in a way that prevents frustration from taking over. When you have faith, your mind learns to be patient, to wait for the right moment, and to trust that everything is unfolding as it should, even when it doesn't happen on your timeline. Faith brings peace to the mind because it removes the constant need to control every outcome. Instead, it invites surrender to the process. Faith also brings clarity to the mind. When your thoughts are clouded with doubt, fear, or uncertainty, it's difficult to move forward. But faith clears the fog. Faith provides direction, a sense of purpose, and a foundation from which you can build. It helps you recognize that the things you can't see with your natural eyes are just as real and important as the things you can see. This brings a deep sense of peace to the mind because faith assures you that you are on the right path, even when the path doesn't always seem clear. But it's important to remember that faith is not just about believing in something external. It's about believing in your own power and potential. It's about trusting that you are capable of handling whatever life throws at you. Faith transforms your mind because it teaches you to believe in your ability to overcome, to adapt, and to succeed. It helps you understand that you are stronger than your circumstances and that you have what it takes to reach the goals you've set for yourself. The role of faith in shaping the mind is profound. It's a mental shift from a mindset of fear and limitation to a mindset of hope, possibility, and growth. Faith is not just about hoping things will get better. It's about believing that you can and will overcome whatever challenges come your way. It's a mental strength that enables you to believe in the unseen and to act as if the best is yet to come, even when the present is difficult. This expanded version dives deeper into how faith influences the mind, providing a richer understanding of its transformative role in shaping how we think, act, and approach life's challenges. Let me know if you'd like to adjust or expand on anything further. The connection between the mind and emotions is undeniable, and it's one of the most powerful relationships in the human experience. We often think of the mind and emotions as separate entities, but the truth is, they are intertwined in ways that shape everything we experience. Our thoughts and emotions are in constant dialogue with one another, each influencing the other in profound ways. The state of your mind can drastically impact how you feel, and the emotions you experience can shape the way you think. It all begins with the way we process information. When we encounter situations in life, our mind begins to interpret the events, filtering them through our beliefs, experiences, and perceptions. This mental interpretation triggers an emotional response. For example, if you perceive a situation as threatening, Your mind might interpret it as something to fear, and that thought will trigger an emotion of anxiety or stress. On the other hand, if you perceive the same situation as an opportunity for growth, your mind may trigger feelings of excitement or optimism. The mind acts as a lens through which we view the world, and the emotional reactions we experience are the direct result of how the mind interprets those views. One of the most important aspects of this connection is how thoughts influence emotional states. Thoughts are the building blocks of our emotional experiences. The way we think about ourselves, about others, and about the world around us directly affects how we feel. If you consistently think negative thoughts, your emotions will mirror that negativity. You may feel down, hopeless, or frustrated. However, when you change the way you think, when you focus on positive, empowering thoughts, the emotions that follow are often more uplifting and energizing. The mind serves as a powerful filter, shaping the emotional tones that color your experience. What's fascinating is that this connection goes both ways. Just as thoughts influence emotions, emotions can also shape the way we think. When we're feeling sad, anxious, or angry, our thoughts are often clouded by those emotions. We tend to focus on what's wrong, what's not working, or what we fear may happen. Our emotional state can create a filter in the mind that distorts reality, making it harder to see opportunities or solutions. For example, when we are angry, our thoughts often become more irrational, judgmental, and focused on the problem at hand, rather than seeing things from a more balanced perspective. The mind becomes saturated with the emotions of the moment, which can make it challenging to think clearly or rationally. This connection between the mind and emotions is not just theoretical. There's also a physical component. The way we think and feel has a profound impact on our bodies. When we experience intense emotions such as fear, anger, or joy, the body reacts accordingly. Our heart rate increases, our muscles tense, and our breathing patterns shift. This is a direct result of the mind and emotions working together to activate the body's fight or flight response or other physiological reactions. Similarly, when we experience positive emotions, our body may relax. We may feel lighter and our energy levels might rise. The mind and emotions don't just influence how we feel mentally, they also manifest physically in the body. This mind-body emotion connection is especially important when we consider how stress, anxiety, and other negative emotions affect our overall health. Chronic stress and anxiety are often the result of negative thoughts that fuel negative emotions. When these emotions are not addressed, they can lead to physical symptoms such as headaches, fatigue, and even more serious health issues like heart disease. Our emotions, when left unchecked, can create a vicious cycle where negative thoughts feed negative emotions, and those emotions in turn manifest physically. However, by changing the way we think and learning to manage our emotions, we can break this cycle and improve our mental, emotional, and physical health. Another key element in the connection between the mind and emotions is how we interpret our emotional experiences. Our thoughts about our emotions play a significant role in how we process and understand them. For instance, if we view our feelings of sadness as something to be avoided or suppressed, we may make those emotions stronger causing them to linger longer. But if we learn to embrace and understand our emotions, allowing ourselves to feel without judgment, we can process them more effectively, and they won't have the same hold over us. The mind can either add to the intensity of the emotion by creating stories around it, or it can allow us to simply experience the emotion and move through it without becoming consumed by it. There's also a dynamic at play between conscious and subconscious thoughts in this connection. Our conscious thoughts, the thoughts we are actively aware of, are just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface, our subconscious mind holds a vast reservoir of beliefs, memories, and emotions. Often the emotions we experience are tied to subconscious thought patterns that we aren't fully aware of. These deep-seated beliefs can shape our reactions to situations without us even realizing it. For example, if you've experienced past trauma, you might unconsciously interpret certain situations through the lens of that past experience, which triggers an emotional reaction that may not fully align with the present moment. This subconscious influence is why it's so important to bring awareness to both our thoughts and emotions so we can begin to identify and release limiting beliefs or emotional patterns that no longer serve us. The power of mindfulness plays a crucial role in strengthening the mind-emotion connection. By practicing mindfulness, we bring awareness to the present moment, allowing us to notice our thoughts and emotions as they arise. Instead of being swept away by them, we can observe them with curiosity and compassion without judgment. This awareness creates a space for us to choose how we respond rather than reacting impulsively. The more we practice mindfulness, the more we can train our minds to recognize when negative thoughts are leading to negative emotions, and we can choose a different, more empowering path. This practice of self-awareness and self-regulation strengthens the connection between the mind and emotions, allowing us to navigate life with more balance and resilience.